want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. In Psalm 51 verse 19, David asked God to, quote, "Take not your Holy Spirit from me." What does that mean? Did David have the Holy Spirit prior to the day of Pentecost, where we see the Holy Spirit come upon the apostles? Well, let's begin with the context of Psalm 51 and then deal with this issue of the Holy Spirit, David, Acts 2, etc. Psalm 51 is actually David's cry to God after Nathan the prophet confronted him regarding Bathsheba and that whole incident. So he pours his heart out over 30 times. He uses the personal pronoun about his infraction, his transgression, his regret for that, not only what he did with Bathsheba, Uriah, her husband, but what he did in relationship to God. So again, the context here is a man who is grieved by his sin. So when he makes the statement, "Do not take your Holy Spirit from me," the distinction that we need to make in the Old Testament versus Acts 2 referenced in the question is that nobody in the Old Testament was indwelled by the Holy Spirit. 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20, speaking on this side of Acts chapter 2, talks about our body being the temple of the Holy Spirit. Well, there was actually a temple, not in David's day, but soon thereafter, where the Holy Spirit was. What we know is that famous Ark of the Covenant. So in the Old Testament, you have evidence of the Holy Spirit coming upon and at times leaving. One of the persons that we have a big question mark by is whom we know as Saul, the king that preceded David, and where he went and the path he took. We only know, and that might be a question you want to submit, where is Saul today when eternity and the lines are drawn? So, Acts chapter 2, it says that the Holy Spirit was to come upon and did come upon the apostles. All right, again, you see the same language. Here's the difference. At the end of the Gospel of John, it says that Jesus breathed on whom we know as the apostles, and they received the Holy Spirit. In Acts chapter 2, you see the apostles filled. Acts chapter 3, again, there's subsequent chapters in the book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 31, as an example, where it says when they prayed they were filled with the Holy Spirit. Now, allow me just a simple clarification. On the day that you or I get saved, we get all the Holy Spirit we're ever going to get. The question is, how much of us does the Holy Spirit have? Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.